pretend they're a threat. They don't care about the struggles you face. Their lives are perfect and yours is a mess. You are falling behind and falling short. You don't have anything to offer. Truthfully, writing those sentences above feels uncomfortable. Honestly, it hurts to hear those words, let alone write them. Why? Because these aren't hypothetical phrases or a made-up list of potential narratives floating around in some theoretical person's mind. These are actual thoughts that I've painfully navigated in my darkest moments. We need to belong in the same way that we need oxygen. Our physical bodies require it. It's knitted into the very fabric of our being. Humans are wired to live alongside others, and not just in some sort of parallel landscape of coexistence. We belong to one another before we are even born. Through the blending of genetic blueprints, through the weaving together of two other human lives, our own being takes shape. We cannot exist without the existence of others. There is no me without you. From that initial spark of life, that first biological blending of our inherited genealogy, we travel into the space that we call home for our first 9 months. Nestled deep within our mother's womb, we are connected to her through a lifeline that nurtures our every need. A cord that connects us in the darkness. A cord that remains with us until we meet the light. Babies are a beautiful illustration of our biological interdependence. However, connection doesn't begin and end in our earliest moments. Belonging remains critical in every season of our lives. It is a part of each stepping stone along our journey of becoming. In childhood, we create friendships in school, and as adults, we search for relationships in the workplace. The groups that we are a part of change as we ourselves evolve and grow. People walk in and out of our lives, and some remain for the long haul. Belonging builds us and breaks us. It molds us and shapes us. It transforms our understanding of ourselves and others. It is the foundation of the human experience. Like tiles in a mosaic or musical notes in a symphony, we are separate parts of a collective masterpiece. We are individual beings existing as a part of a group, a delicate dichotomy between our desire to be autonomous and our inextricable need to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. Within social groups, both humans and other animals battle with the delicate balance between cooperation and competition. The ability to operate as a group is critical to the survival of the species. However, the individual also has a vested interest in being the one to survive and pass on their genetics to the next generation. Cooperation and competition are a delicate balancing act wired directly into our genetic code. We are built to belong, and yet we are also created to compete. We are constantly at war with ourselves, and it doesn't take much for the balance of power to shift. When I started my photography business, I dreamed of becoming the best photographer in my city. Years were spent honing my craft, building my brand, and nurturing a client base. I was a solopreneur competing at the top of my game. However, I wasn't doing it alone. My success was propelled by the success of others. I relied on other photographers to shoot alongside me at weddings. We also shared business opportunities, referring out new clients when one of us was booked. As the photography industry evolved, developing new shooting styles, editing techniques, and marketing strategies, knowledge was also shared, and the collective benefited too. All photographers compete against one another for business. However, they also deeply rely upon one another. The balancing act between community and competition is a tightrope walk that we must navigate every day. I have spent years unpacking the significance of this duality, the craving we have to compete, and the calling we have for community. This book is my way of sharing what I have learned and elevating the stories of others who demonstrate that we truly can rise together in a competitive world. For years, I struggled to strike the proper balance myself. I wanted to achieve. I wanted my business to flourish. I also wanted to belong to a community whose members truly supported one another. And I'm not talking about a shallow, superficial type of friendship. I wanted the real thing. I longed for deeply authentic and selfless camaraderie. I yearned for radical kindness. People caring for other people without expecting anything in return. No hidden agendas, no tearing others down, no comparison monsters knocking on the door. I desperately wanted something different. Yet there I was, sitting in the darkness of my office alone, competing, comparing, and scrolling deeper into the void.